Alright guys, well it feels like this is a project that never ends because I never know when to stop recording and finally send out all these parts of the videos, but I think I'm going to cap it off it today. Wherever we end up with the car, that is where it's going to be. And maybe if I end up taking it home today and driving it to work tomorrow, I'll end it off there. That's kind of the final conclusions. But yeah, there's been like several parts of the videos that you guys have already probably watched where I ended up recording like my see you later outro. Hope you guys enjoyed the project. And then I ended up coming back again the next day and working on more stuff. So couple things to note so far. This is full, and the puddle that was underneath, I think, is still there. But this is no longer very oily. This feels much more like a greasy water mix and not like an oil. So that's somewhat of a good sign. I'll have to drive it obviously to know for sure, but this is a much different viscosity than it was the first time we saw this happening. So I don't know why it happened in the first place, but this is at least a good sign that it's not remaining as oil as it was. So there's a chance, I guess, that this could be just a nasty collection of, I don't know, some old fluid that was built up in there and water and grime and grit and whatever. But I don't know for sure. It doesn't all add up yet, but it's something that I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye on. But I don't think we're gonna have a direct solution in this video. Oh, and one other big thing to update on. The noise from the transmission. I found out what it is, and it's not a big deal like I thought it was, at least in terms of long-term health of the transmission. Essentially, the synchros on these early 6-speeds don't have the springs to kind of keep things from making noise and rattling and buzzing like that when it's not in gear, basically, and with the clutch out, not depressed. So essentially, it just kind of buzzes like that, and some of them are worse than others. Some of them are, not noticeable much, but with it being a V8 and having the single mass flywheel, it just kind of accentuates that noise and makes it even more noticeable than it would be. So Petio from Kangaroo's team actually recommended I can try out different fluids, sometimes a thicker fluid or maybe fluids with some kind of viscosity modifier or friction modifiers can kind of alleviate something. So he recommended hit up like Redline or AMSOIL or things like that and just ask them what they would recommend, what kind of combinations. I've read some things online of like different combinations people do, because this is a common issue with some of the BMW Getrags too, the early 5-speed ones and 6-speed. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, and the good news is it has nothing to do with the throw-up bearing or the pilot bearings or anything like that, because if that was the case, it would be the opposite of how it's happening now. The noise goes away when the clutch is fully depressed. It is happening when the clutch is out and the car is in neutral. It doesn't happen when the clutch is out and the car is in gear. It's only when the car is in neutral, because that's the only time those gears, basically the teeth, are free and they're not, held in by something or in gear. So that was a big relief. The knowledge that the Kangaroos team has is just abundant, and I so appreciate it. It's like gotten me out of like a worry jam so many times already throughout this project. So thank you again to you guys. And yeah, that was the two big issues that I was left kind of sad about last time I was in the video, was what the heck is the noise from transmission and why are we leaking brake fluid? But both of them don't seem to be as serious as I thought them to be at the time, or serious at all, So hopefully, fingers crossed, but I'll definitely update you guys. So just the other day, I actually threw on the new 18s on the C55, and I don't really feel like selling the Motegis because I bought them brand new. They were the first wheels I ever bought brand new, and they're great wheels. So yeah, I want to try to use them on this. If they fit, great. If they don't, that's okay. Anyways, enough talking. Let's get this thing up on jacks and test it out. I'm just going to test fit the front first. I'm fairly certain that the rears will fit, no problem. These tires are a little bit taller than what I have on right now, but they should fit in the rear. But the fronts is what I don't know. So I'm going to test fit those first. All right, guys, well, they fit, but they don't fit. They go up to the hub perfectly, but if you listen, hear that? That is actually the weight on the back side of the wheel hitting on the strut. So everywhere else it's clear, but the wheel weight is hitting. So, all right, guys, life is about finding solutions, and we found another one. I actually looked at the other wheels and I realized the other ones didn't have the same type of weights. They just had inner barrel weights. So one of them, we used this as a donor. We pulled the barrel weights off of that, pried off the inner barrel weight, and just transferred the 1 ounces of weight over to this one. So should be pretty much a perfect match. And now all the other ones are good because that was for the front right, and that doesn't have them on the inner barrel. The back passenger right doesn't have them. The back driver side did have them, so it wouldn't have made sense to swap them like that. Basically just, yeah, made do with what we had. So now I should be able to run these. All right, guys, fronts are on. Now, don't get me wrong. I think those wheels probably actually look better, but these are just a better wheel in all aspects. They're lighter, they're from a better company, and they have better tires on them for spirited driving. Not that those tires have anything wrong with them, but this is just a better overall wheel. I don't have to run the hub-centric rings. Everything is just sitting flush as it should be. So I'm pretty happy with where it's sitting, but won't really know until we drive. It does seem like this side looks fine, and our garage is not perfectly level, so it could just be that, but yeah, I think it's good now. This side almost looked like it had some positive camber on it when I first put it on, but I think that's more to do with our garage not being exactly level, and the rears sitting lower than the fronts is probably not helping too much right now. It looks pretty even, probably like -1 degree or so right now, so we should be good. All right, you guys, well, here she sits. Maybe not as beautiful as she was before, but hopefully a better performer. The rears fit perfectly fine. Shouldn't have issues, hopefully. Might rub a tiny bit if I hit some hard bumps. I don't know how. The back suspension is still in pretty good shape. The front is what's really worn. The front is just not doing so great right now. Especially the driver's side, but it'll suffice as for now. I would love to put a set of coilovers on this eventually, but C55 is getting that treatment first, so yeah, this will do for now. All right, guys, well, last thing I'm gonna try before I leave. It's all hooked up, obviously not decluttered yet fully, but ground is right here, power is right here. Like I said, we tapped into the cigarette lighter for that and used actual connectors, so this can be disconnected if I need to. Right now I have the orange, and this is obviously going to be later, but I just want to see right now if this thing will light up as if it got power. So here's the... All right, guys, well, time has flown by. It's the same night, but yeah, we got carried away. I wanted to get the speedometer, or at least try to get it working with a GPS sender, so I wanted to clean up the wiring that's plugging in the neutral safety switch. I would like to build a box for this to sit in so that I know that this thing's never going to get hit on accident. It's pretty stiff, so if I tuck it somewhere, the likelihood is never going to get bumped, but it would be nice just to make a little encasing or a little enclosure for it. But what I did here, I put on the male connector, and this is for what I think was the signal from the speed sensor that plugged in the transmission. This is just the neutral safety lockout that I had before, and then I cleaned up all the wiring that's plugging into the harness for this, so it's not just all frayed out. I did keep the overload switch connected in there, and it's just out here. I really don't know if this is doing anything, so I guess I could test pulling it out, but honestly I'll probably just keep it here in case I need to ever mess with this in the future. And then our GPS unit, It has blue, white, and orange, which are the 3 options for pulses per minute signal. I think it's going to be the orange if any of them are going to work, but these are the other 2 possibilities. So orange is 4,000, I think white is 8,000, and blue is 16,000. And then we have the power, which we found a good spot for in the car from the cigarette lighter, and then the ground, which I just put a little terminal on to screw into the actual body. There's a hole already for it on the tunnel, so I'll just use a screw and put that into there. But I guess since we have it all good to go, might as well see if I can get a signal for it. It should light up with a steady light, I believe, if it's getting signal. I think blinking is like looking for a signal. I don't know. Directions are right here. Might as well check everything since, here we go. So ground is black, power is red, speedometer, the 3 different pulses per minute. Blue is 16,000, white 8,000, and orange 4,000. It says, no, the first time GPS is turned on, it might take a few minutes to detect the location, start communication with the circuit. There will not be any delay once the unit is wired. The unit transmits 12-volt DC pulse, speedometer, runs with designated PPMs. Green flashing unit is not receiving data light. Green steady. Yeah, so steady is receiving data from satellite. So I'll go ahead and get this plugged in and see what happens. All right, camera is being weird, but we have power. It is flashing, which means it isn't receiving a signal yet. So don't know what that means, but let me move this thing around and see if anything will change. All right, well, no luck yet. I was kind of moving this thing around, but chances are it may need to go outside for the first time so this can see the sky. If we look back at the directions, I believe it said it needs a clear view of the sky. Before beginning installation of the kit, please connect a positive battery cable from your vehicle and read all instructions completely. Yeah, unit must have a clear view of the sky in order to function properly. So I would guess that's probably gonna be like, especially when it first is starting up, because it should work even if you're like, what if you're going out in a tunnel? Is the GPS gonna stop? Probably not, but I would say it's most likely for that first connection it needs to be out in the clear view of the sky. But hey guys, we gotta win at least. It's on. Hey, it's steady. Oh shit. Oh, all right, we got a bonus win. I was not expecting that. It just needed a little bit to connect. Damn. All right, we're good to go. I am gonna mount this thing up, I think right here on the side, and then if this thing works without having to be mounted up top, that would be awesome, because then I can just leave this tucked underneath. Otherwise I'm gonna have to figure out a way to like snake this and hide it somewhere over here where it's not too noticeable. But this is awesome. I am very happy I spent the time tonight to go over everything on the car, and got to swap out the wheels, etc. I'm excited to drive it. I'm not gonna be able to right now. It's a little late, but that's okay. Tomorrow is the last day of school. I sound like a kid, but I'm a teacher. That's why I'm saying that. Last day of school, and summer begins. So that means all kinds of time at my hands. We're leaving to San Francisco on the 30th, which is like 10 days away, but got some time between now and then to play with this thing some more and do some other projects. So I'll check back with you guys when I get to come back and drive it. What's going on, you guys? The next day, I'm almost ready to get this thing home, but I'm just doing a few last minute checkups on it before I head out. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So number one, I've been kind of inspecting around, seeing if I see any more fluid leakage. There was a small puddle underneath the car today, and it was more watery than it was even yesterday. So that's a little bit relieving. I did notice a little bit of like condensation down here on the brake booster and all of this setup. So maybe it's something that I need to look into going forward. you know, having it sit for as long as it did probably didn't help. So maybe after I drive it for a little while, it'll kind of tighten itself back up, but probably something I'll need to look into in the future. But for now, I'm just kind of tidying up the electronic setup that we left yesterday. This is a GPS receiver. I'm not going to do anything with that until I know how it behaves. The neutral safety switch is sitting right here, but everything else I tried to kind of tuck up. This is just tape for now. I'm probably going to Velcro it afterwards, but yeah, I'm just kind of temporarily securing things for now, and then once I know that everything's good, then I can lock it down with some more permanent solutions. But yeah, just a couple last minute things, and then we're gonna go take this thing home and hopefully give it a bath when we get home, because it is hideously dirty. All right guys, I think we're just about ready to get this thing going, so I'm gonna start it up, let it warm up for a little while, and then move Mike's truck out of the way, and yeah, go for it. Also definitely gonna need to get some gas on the way home. So anyways, let this thing warm up, let the GPS kick in, and yeah, we'll just report as we go. Alright guys, first off, sorry the GoPro wasn't charged, so you're not going to be able to see me shifting really, recording on the phone, but yeah, just let it warm up for a few minutes. Got the truck out of the way. I'm going to back it out real quick, and then we'll have to close the garage. We're on a maiden voyage in couple of different ways, because we also have the new wheels on. So I didn't even look at my Speedo is moving right now, but I guess we'll look at it as we drive. All right, taking the back roads home, taking it easy, but yeah, just kind of do the same thing we did last time and take it on our drive. Can't tell if the Speedo's moving at all right now. I don't think it is. Also went really slow though, so who knows. And again, we don't know what pulse the Speedo operates at, so alright, no Speedo right now. I guess on the way there, I can test out the different plugs. I can also test if this makes a difference at all, which I don't think that's going to. Put my lights on. Feels good. I put some foam pad in the shifter. Definitely a lot quieter. Put the window up so you guys can hear me. Man, it's still loud, but a lot quieter than it was before. Yeah, unfortunately, no Speedo right now. So not really sure about that. Whoa, we got a very strange Audi R8 in front of us. It's got some chameleon paint, or chameleon wrap, it looks like. We got orange plugged in right now. Just cruising. too exciting is gonna happen right now, but fingers crossed, I guess. The car really, it really likes to be higher up in the RPM. Like it doesn't like, for instance, in my car, in the C55, I can be like 1500 RPM in 5th gear cruising around at 35, and it won't really bog at all because it has enough power to make up for that. But with this, it's, you know, it's not anywhere near as powerful, so it really doesn't like to be below like 2000 RPM, it seems like, in gear. So this guy in the R8 is going wild in front of us. So far the wheels feel really good. The ride feels solid. I haven't got to go full lock yet, but it feels good. There was nothing wrong with the Raceline wheels that I had. It's just they're heavy, and you guys know me, I'm a big fan of weight savings where I can, so yeah. Gonna need to get gas ASAP. Light's probably gonna come on here soon. So anyways, I'll check back with you guys when I get to the gas station. Maybe we'll try to switch out the plugs. Alright guys, just filled up. Back on the road. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was weird. I was just making a buck. I didn't give it enough gas. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, I switch back and forth between all the cars so much, and all of the pedal modulation is a little bit different at each one. That, like, with this, the clutch feels a little bit heavier than the C55. The gas pedal feels a little bit like more resistant. So it's just getting your feet used to it. And then, you know, not to mention I'm driving the MO63 most often throughout the day, which is much different than both of those. So yeah, I was just not driving it right. Got fresh gas in her after, man, like 7 weeks. Crazy. Didn't really know what to expect as far as our timeline went when we started all of this project. I also switched the Speedo for the white wire, but still no luck. I'm pretty sure if one of them was gonna work, it would make it move somehow. It just might not be the correct reading. But if it's not moving at all, I'm not too hopeful. I can try to put this thing up here, but I don't think it's gonna make any difference. Third gear, 2000 RPM, going up a big hill. She's doing good. I'm driving a manual swap E420 home right now. Life is crazy. I started thinking about it today when I was at work. like, if you really think about it, low-key, I have two of the, whatever you want to call it, like, most unique, rare, one-of-a-kind type cars in my possession now. Like, when I get home and I have this next to the C55, knock on wood, but when I have them sitting next to each other, you will never find that anywhere else in the world. And I was thinking about that today, and I was like, it's kind of crazy, you know? Like, I don't try to gas myself up or anything about it, but it is pretty crazy, like, what we've been able to accomplish by doing these builds and pouring all of this time and energy and money into these projects. So yeah, it's kind of special when you think about it like that. That was to like 4,000 RPM, second gear. Just cruising, man. That's really what this car is intended for. I mean, that was the plan all along with this car. It's just, this is the chill car out of the builds. This is not the powerful car or whatever else. This is the chill car. Guys, they're finally together. The only place in the world you can find this combination. Pretty damn sure about that. Epic. It's a journey that will continue, obviously, but we made it this far. Very happy, so I'll check back with you guys for the end of the video. Oh, great. Oh, no. Get it.
I got it.
Alright guys, we're a family full inside of the freshly manual swapped E420. We're like a clown car right now, filled up with groceries and people.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, just wanted to document it for the video as the final touches. Say peace. Peace. Well, you guys, with that last clip of the little family drive, I think this is a place where I want to end the videos. Couple things quick to note. I left the car overnight after the last clip you guys had seen. Checked underneath, no fluid leaking underneath. Both the reservoirs are full, so that's very good news. And the more I drive it, the more I'm kind of getting acclimated to the sounds and everything and the way the feel of the car is. And it's feeling good. So it's definitely something that I'll just continue to update on, just like I have with the C55. And I'm sure there'll be little changes and experiments that I'll have to do, but yeah, we've made it, and it was a big journey, and I so appreciate you guys following along. I hope it's brought some entertainment, maybe knowledge, and just something cool for you guys to be a part of. So speedometer isn't working right now, but that's okay. I'll dive into it further as we go. It's not the biggest deal to not have a working speedometer right now, so I'll definitely make a video once I get that working and update you guys on that. But we tried, so I feel comfortable kind of ending it here and letting it be how it is for now. One thing I want to end the video on, and this is emotional for me, but this year I lost, this year I've lost both my father-in-law and one of my best friends, and it's been hard. And the whole time I've been going through this build, I've just been thinking of them and like almost wanting it to be a tribute to them in a way, or just dedicate to them in a way. And today it was just, this was a very synchronous moment. But we went unplanned to go to my wife's mother's house and my mother-in-law's house to just say hi real quick. We were just gonna swing by. We didn't even stop the car. We were just swinging by to say hi, and randomly decided to get into the car. My son was asking her to come with us, so I had to clear out a bunch of stuff in the car. It was all kind of pieced together, and when I was moving stuff, I found this lighter, and if you guys can see that, it says Scorpio on it with a scorpion. And this is not mine. I have dug into this car a bunch of times while I've had it. I mean, it's been well over a year that I've had this thing, and I've been under the seats all kinds of times to check for things. And just when you get a new car, you explore all the ins and outs and everything. And I never have seen this, and it was sitting there right next to a quarter. And both my father-in-law and my brother, my best friend, one of my best friends, who both passed, like I said, were both Scorpios. And when I saw it, I just immediately thought of them and got the feeling that, you know, they were here with me through this whole process. And that was just surreal. And it's just the way that, you know, they communicate through the universe to us and people who've passed that we love, and move on to their next journey or go back home, or whatever way you want to look at it. But it was just special to be able to find this, and I think it was the last kind of sign to tell me, like, we made it, like we completed the project and we have it and it's working. And yeah, it was just significant in a lot of ways for me to find that in that position and at that time. So all the love from me and from all their loved ones, to my brother Lewis and to my father-in-law Dan. Thank you guys again, and hope you guys are with me and get to experience all of this together, because I know both of them would have loved to see this project come to fruition. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it there, guys. Love to everyone who's out there, and just thank you guys so much for supporting me and the channel through everything from the beginning till now. And I hope, like I said, that this has been a fun project for you guys to be a part of. It's crazy to me to be at the completed point, knowing where we started and how much work went into it, and to have two manual swap V8 Mercedes literally 30 feet from each other right now. The only place in the world where you can find that is right here. Like, that's kind of mind-blowing to me when I think about it. But I hope that others can recognize that, or I don't know, understand that, or just understand what I mean by that. But yeah, it's crazy. So there's no perfect place to end this. There's so many videos and so much time that's gone into this, but I'll end it there. Just all the love in the world again, to everyone watching, and to all my family and friends out there, to my wife, my son, for letting me spend so much time on this. Thank you guys. So yeah, that's a wrap. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.